Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on day 25 of 30 of how to stop binge eating. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about rewiring your thoughts around food and your body. So if you want to stop your binge eating, you have to get really good at redirecting your diet culture thoughts. Every single day, you probably think so many different thoughts inside of your mind, right? Like, what are the calories? Should I eat this? Is this a good food? Is this a bad food? Am I going to spiral out of control? Should I really eat this? Do I need this? Is this a craving? Is this an urge? Been using your celebrate every win? Yes, Marina. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. And what have you been noticing? What have you been noticing since like really celebrating yourself? I'm curious to know like if you felt any different, if you felt a little bit more excited about your journey. Really helps. Yes, yes, yes. So good. So you probably have and Marina, are you listening to the podcast? Let me know if you're listening to the podcast. So you have so many thoughts, right? It's like, is this a craving? Am I just bored? Am I actually hungry? Is this a physical hunger cue? Is this an emotional hunger cue? Like there's so many thoughts that you're experiencing on a daily basis. And when it comes to your thought, just because you think a certain thought does not mean it's actually true. Just because you think a certain thought doesn't mean that that thought is actually true. So for example, I have on my mouth here. So for example, if you have a thought in your mind of like carbs are bad, it doesn't automatically mean that just because you think it, that it's true. The only reason that you believe that a lot of the thoughts that you think are true is because you've replayed them in your mind so many times. And when you replay a thought in your mind so many times, it feels true. It literally turns into a belief because you just repeated it so many times. If you have always heard carbs are bad, and you keep telling yourself carbs are bad, you're going to believe carbs are bad. And what you need to do is you need to redirect that thought. Because number one, is this thought even true? It could feel really true, but let's prove it to not be true. Okay, well, I see other people eating carbs and they don't spiral out of control. I see other people eating carbs and they're at a weight that feels really good for them. I see other people eating carbs and they don't fear it. Prove that thought to be wrong. Prove that thought to be wrong. People who have a healthy relationship with food, they eat carbs all the time in moderation with full control. So I'm going to prove to myself that that thought is not true. Now, there might be certain thoughts that you're thinking. What did Marina said? I'm moving to your breath and meditation as soon as thoughts come up. Yes, that's so awesome. So the next thing about the thoughts is even if you think like a thought is true, okay, but do you want to keep believing it? Even if you're like, but I really do think this thought is true. Okay, but is it a helpful thought? And if it's not a helpful thought, then you can choose a different thought, one that's going to be supportive for you in your journey. So if you have a thought, let's say, for example, of carbs are bad, and you're like, but I actually believe that, right? Or like, I have to be mindful because I have PCOS, or I have to be mindful because of XYZ, whatever it is. It's like, okay, but do I want to keep fearing carbs? Do I want to keep having anxiety around them? No. So what is the new helpful thought that I can think instead? Carbs give me energy. Carbs make me happy, right? It's like, how can you create a new empowering thought? See, Marina said, I need help with the thought. I always will fail. I just give up. So, but ask yourself, how is that serving you? Is that helping you move towards a binge-free life? No. And you know, it's so interesting. A lot of my clients, the clients that I work with, I'm just being honest, it's like my clients don't have the thought of like, this isn't working. Because it's like, even if something isn't working, it's like, I'm going to find a solution. Okay, so maybe this didn't work. Okay, but what's going to work? Or after a binge, instead of saying, oh, I'm so mad at myself, I just binged, I'm such a failure. It's like, it's okay. Like tomorrow's a brand new day. I'm going to give myself grace. I know this is a journey. I have to trust the process, and you will get to your binge-free life so much faster when you start thinking thoughts that are actually supportive. Because even just think about your body. When you think about like, this isn't going to work, I'm such a failure, it's like your body like contracts and your body, you just feel hopeless. Versus it's like, you know, I got this. I'm going to choose to believe in myself. I'm going to redirect my thoughts. I'm going to remind myself that this is a process, that things are going to take time, but I freaking got this. I am a badass. I can do hard things like conquer binge eating. And when you do that, it's like, ooh, it's like, it feels so exciting. It's like, ooh, like I could do this. And when you start believing in yourself, you don't give into that urge because you're like, I got this. When you believe in yourself, you pick yourself back up after a binge because you don't let a binge define you. You're like, but I'm going to conquer, right? The people who conquer binge eating are simply the people who believe in themselves. And that expedites your process because when you start thinking like, oh, I can do this. And when you actually think to yourself, like, I could do this, you're more excited to not act onto your urge. You're more excited to pick yourself back up after a binge. And I know you're a badass. You're here on this live. I see you. You're ready, we're ready doing things behind the scenes. How can I work with you? What is the process? Marina, just message me on my Instagram. I'll share with you, there's a few different ways in terms of working with me. I recommend jumping into the membership, the Root and Rewire membership. This is a fantastic place to just get started with working with me. You learn all the foundational tools to improve your relationship with food, get out of the diet binge cycle. You learn how to stop thinking about food 24/7. You know exactly what to do before, during, and after a binge. You learn how to actually get to the root of your binge eating, how to rewire your brain, how to control your crazy cravings, how to stop secret eating, how to stop emotional eating, self-sabotage. Like there's literally everything inside the membership. So just message me membership on my Instagram and I'll send you all the details. Love to have you inside. So changing your thoughts. First thing, is this thought even true? And if you feel like it's true, prove it to be wrong. The second part is like, is this even my thought? Just because you're thinking a thought doesn't mean that it's your thought. So let me give you an example. So when I was in grade 8, I got called fat. And that thought inside of my mind, I am fat, replayed in my mind over and over and over again. Every single time you look in the mirror, every single time you're about to eat lunch, every single time you're gonna, have something sweet, that thought pops up. But you need to pause and ask yourself, is this actually my thought? Or did I take on this thought from somebody else that didn't even know me, that didn't even know my story? So somebody might have called you a name. I had one client and she told me like one of her brothers kept on calling her thunder thighs. So every single time she would look at herself in the mirror, she would look at herself in photos, all she would think is like thunder thighs, thunder thighs, thunder thighs. And I said, this thought isn't even yours. It feels like yours, again, because you replay it in your mind over and over again. But you got to ask yourself, like, is this actually my thought? Do I want to think this thought? No, it's not my thought. And you are safe to let these thoughts go because they're not even yours. You just took on somebody else's thought. And this is so important because your thoughts impact how you feel, and how you feel impacts your behaviors with food. So like I was just mentioning to Marina, if the thought is like, oh, I can't do this, nothing is gonna work, you feel defeated. Hey, Caroline, so good to have you on. Hey, Raven, you feel defeated. And when you feel defeated, it's like, oh, F it, I'm just gonna binge. It's like the behavior is self-sabotage because it's your goal seems so far away compared to if you have the thought of, I'm a badass, I can do hard things, I can conquer binge eating. Again, you feel excited. And when you feel excited, your behaviors are in alignment with what it is that you want, a binge-free life. And how many of you guys want a binge-free life? All of you guys do, I know it. Well, drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, I want a binge-free life. Raven, Caroline, Tanisa, Marina, I know you guys want a binge-free life. And changing your thoughts is going to be so important. Even when the urge comes, what is your go-to thought? If as soon as the urge comes on, you're like, this is gonna be so uncomfortable, like I have to give in. Oh, the urge is so powerful over me. Oh, I have to give in. Oh, well, I'm just gonna give in because I'm weak. If that is your go-to automatic thought patterns, how is that serving you? How is that serving you? It probably isn't. It probably isn't. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, what do I want to think about the urge instead? I am way more powerful over my binge urges. I'm a badass. I can sit in the discomfort. I am experiencing discomfort. I'm not experiencing pain right now. Again, you change your thoughts around every single situation. Feeling full is 100% a trigger. Yep. Someone says, if I'm too full, I'll give up and think I messed up and start eating random food. Yeah, because, oh, this is the all or nothing mentality. This is what I'm talking about right now inside of my program, Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life. We're really talking about the all or nothing mentality, and all my clients are having such breakthroughs. They're finally breaking out of the all or nothing mentality, because when you feel full, you feel like, I did bad today. I ate too much. So there's no point of eating healthy because I'm already full and I'm already bloated. So what other foods can I eat that are also going to make me bloated, or what other foods can I eat? Because since I'm already past that limit of fullness, I might as well just keep on eating. I already feel like shit. Might as well keep feeling like shit. Like, that's literally the exact mindset. And that's the all or nothing mentality. That right there is self-sabotage. And this is where, again, your thoughts play a role. It's not too late. I tell my clients this all the time. It's not too late. Even if you've eaten until you're way too full, it's not too late. If you think, oh, it's too late, like I'm already so full, okay, but you're just gonna get fuller. You're just gonna feel even shittier, right? So it's like, it's way better to stop than spiral into the all or nothing mentality and make yourself feel worse, right? So all things to really think about. Hey, Sophie. Nice to have you on, Sophie. How are you? Sophie, if you have a question for me, you can drop it in the chat and I will answer. If any of you guys have questions, you guys can drop it in the chat. Alex, Rach, Tanisha, Caroline, Linda, Nancy. If you guys have any questions, we're just really talking about reframing your diet culture thoughts, which is like so important. So important, because your thoughts, oh, one of my mentors said this to me once. She said, thoughts are just thoughts, they're not facts. And I was like, yeah. Sophie, what specific question do you have? Because I could be here for 25 hours talking about how to stop binge eating. Do you have a specific question? There's also the podcast I just wrote there. Do you have a specific, like, what are you finding most challenging, Sophie? I feel like I'm not restrictive, but I still binge if I honor my cravings. So this can happen for a few different reasons. So number one, you just haven't given it enough time. So I don't know how long you have been honoring your cravings for, but a lot of people will say like, well, I honored my cravings like twice, but like I'm still binging, and that's not enough. Like, you need to do this for like maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months. Like, honoring your cravings is something that you need to do over and over again, because it's still habitual. So the binging is still habitual. So even if you're not restrictive, the binges can still happen, because again, it's through repeated action of continuously giving in and binging, your body is used to it. It's created a habit in the brain. And this is why it's so important to keep the process going. So it's great that you're honoring your cravings, but again, just doing that for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even a month is not even a long time. You have to keep going, number one. Number two, you have to practice not giving into your urges. You have to practice not giving into your urges, because again, every single time that you just give in, you are further ingraining this habit into your brain. The other thing is there could be mental restriction. So even though you're not physically restricting, there could be mental restriction. If you're judging your food choices, if you're feeling guilty, all of those emotions propel the diet binge cycle. So you could be allowing yourself to have whatever it is that you want, but because you're feeling guilty, it's like the whole time you're eating it, you're like, I probably shouldn't be eating this. And then you feel bad. I don't know how to stop that. Well, mental restriction is the key. I don't know how to stop that. So it's really reminding yourself you're not doing anything wrong. And I know it's like, it can't be that simple, but the only reason guilt is there is because you feel like you're doing something wrong. Why does a child feel guilty for something? Because it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that, right? Like, mom's gonna get mad at me, right? So it's like, if you can prove to yourself that you did nothing wrong, the guilt is going to shrink. So really say to yourself, okay, why do I feel guilty? Well, I feel guilty because diet culture told me that I should only eat 1 tablespoon of almond butter and I had 2. Diet culture told me that I shouldn't eat after 7 o'clock, and now I feel bad because it's 8 o'clock. I almost always am like, I shouldn't do this. And so should or shouldn't create shame. When you say you shouldn't do that, you should do that, and then you don't do it, you feel shame. Should and shouldn't even be in our vocabulary. So like I said, how to get rid of the guilt is you got to prove for why you shouldn't feel guilty. I was talking about this on one of my trainings inside of my program, Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life. I'm running it right now. You can still jump in if any of you guys want to join that program. But anyways, I was telling them, I said, let's say you feel guilty for going out for ice cream with your family. Really ask yourself, okay, why do I feel guilty? Well, I feel guilty because, oh my gosh, the calories. I feel guilty because now I have a stomach ache and maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay, but why did you go in the first place? Well, you went because you wanted to, you were actually craving the ice cream. Well, you actually went because you wanted to spend quality time with your family. Well, you actually went because you no longer want to be afraid of food. Well, you went because you no longer want to stay at home and isolate yourself when your family is having a great time. So then that just proves to you're like, oh, okay, I found the reason why I said yes in the first place. So I'm not going to let guilt ruin my life because I found the reason why I said yes. And then that shrinks the guilt. Okay. Sophie said, let me just scroll back up. When I'm going through something tough, I'll eat, but I can't stop. I'm in the process of mental health counseling right now. Changing my mind for something else will not help the binging itself. Okay. This is why just doing mindset work is not going to heal your relationship with food, because just changing your mind for something else or trying to do something else doesn't actually get rid of your urges. So if you feel the urge to binge, and if I just said to you, Sophie, okay, instead of binging, which is so pleasurable, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go read a book. You're going to be like, but I don't want to read a book. I want to freaking binge. Okay, well, just drink some water and just try to go to bed early. The urge is still there. You're still thinking about binging. And this is why so many people are stuck binging, because reading, distracting yourself, going to bed early doesn't get rid of the urge. It's still there. So even if today you don't binge, tomorrow the urge is still going to pop up. Next week, the urge is still going to pop up. You're always band-aiding. You're always putting a band-aid on, and you're not actually getting rid of your urges. So instead, Alina says, thank you for talking about this. Absolutely. If you're finding this helpful, let me know in the chat. Oh my gosh, psychic. I just saw, who is that? Alexis just popped on. Oh my God, we haven't talked in so long. Geez, anyways. So the way that I teach my clients is you need to create a state change in your body. So what I mean by this is you need to physically feel different. So instead of just telling yourself, instead of Oh my gosh. Yes, it's Alex, right? Or Alexis, I'm pretty sure. I haven't binged in over a year, so thank you. Your videos have helped so much. Yay, I'm so glad. Lexi, okay. Okay, I'm like, is it Alexis? I remember, I saw your picture and I remember your username. And duh, your name says Lex on it. Duh. Okay. So anyways, what I was saying was, instead of just telling yourself don't binge, instead of just telling yourself go distract yourself, you want to create a state change. So I always tell my clients there's so many different ones, but I'm just going to share 3 with you for the context of this live stream. Breath work, shaking, like literally like shaking your body like this. I know it looks so silly. Shaking your body, breath work, or a cold shower. When you feel the urge to binge, that is going to create a state change in your body. You're going to physically feel different and you're going to mentally think differently as well too. It's going to help regulate your nervous system. You're going to feel a shock. Like if you've ever hopped in a cold shower, you jumped into a cold lake, your body feels a shock. And that will create a state change in your body. And as a result, you're not going to even feel that desire to binge. Compared to if I just told, okay, instead of binging, go read a book. Just go call a friend. Go for a walk. It's like all you're going to be thinking about. You're going to go around the block. I am Canadian. Do I have an accent? You're going to go around the whole freaking block and you're still going to be planning and thinking about what you're going to binge on when you get home. Hey, Mira. Oh my gosh, we haven't talked in so long. All of you guys are like popping on today. I love it. So I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? So those 3 tools are what I recommend. Of course, there's so many more that I teach my clients, but those are 3 that you guys can start with when you feel the urge to binge. And like I said, that's going to be so much more effective. You can't just tell yourself don't binge. How many of you guys have told yourself like, just don't do it tonight, and then you end up binging? Because again, that's not an effective solution. That doesn't reprogram your brain. That doesn't take, that doesn't stop 10 years of binging. It requires so much more than that. Okay. Any other questions? Sophie, let me know if that helped. By the way, you should definitely be in our membership, inside of the Root and Rewire membership. It has all the foundational tools you need to improve your relationship with food. We have a badass community. Everyone's there to support you, cheer you on. We do Q&As like this every single month. It's an amazing program to be in. So all of you guys who are interested in really tackling the binge eating, you guys should all be inside of the membership, the place to be. I will try the cold shower. Yes, Mira. Sophie says yes, thank you. I stopped binge eating for 1 year. I feel so much better. Yay, amazing. Hi, Jennifer. All right, any other questions, you guys? Right now, I am doing a 30-day TikTok series of live streams. So I will be on for the next few days. Yeah, I'm doing a 30-day TikTok series. Today is day 25 of 30. By the way, if you've not yet gone to my profile, go watch day 1 to day 24. This is the series. Okay, any other questions? Hey, Caroline. Who else is on? Marina, I'm excited for your message on Instagram. I'll respond to you. I'm not sure if you messaged me yet, but I'm excited to respond back to you. Deanna's here. Hey, Brittany. Brittany, do you have a question? Jennifer, do you have a question? Hey, Rebecca. Lorna, do you still get urges here and there? Do they ever fully go away? I still get them. That's not normal. If you still have urges, you haven't rewired your brain. I have not felt a single urge to binge in 4 years because I've gotten rid of my urges. So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. There's a difference between managing your urges and getting rid of them. You can have some binge-free days, even some binge-free weeks, and even binge-free months, by managing your urges through distracting yourself, willpowering your way through, promising yourself to not do it. But that will you'll always be on high alert, and there always will be continued urges popping up. When you get rid of your urges, it doesn't even matter where you are. I've been on vacation. I'm home alone a lot. I don't have the urge to binge. I just went to Japan. We ate all the delicious foods, no urge to binge. I have my chocolate chip pancakes, no urge to binge. So, and I work with clients and they'll message me. They're like, I haven't, it's been 6 months since we worked together, a year since we worked together, and I still haven't had the urge to binge. So when you really do things sustainably and properly, you will not have the urge to binge. So you will absolutely get there. So what are you doing? Lex, what are you doing right now? When you say like, just keep working on it, like what are you specifically doing? Because there may be something that you're doing that can also be still having the urges pop up. So it's good that they're not strong at all. Like that's amazing, but I'm sure you want them gone. So let me know, like, what are you specifically doing by working on them? You don't have to exercise. The question is it true I have to exercise to lose weight, or can I just control my weight? You don't have to exercise to lose weight. There's so many ways to manage your weight in a healthy way. And one of the best things that you can do is heal your relationship with food and stop binge eating. Exercising is a way, but also like, what if you took the focus off of weight loss? What if you took the focus off of weight loss? Because the thing is, like when you actually stop focusing on weight loss, your weight will naturally take care of itself. I don't do weight loss coaching, but my clients release weight because they're no longer binging, they're eating when they're hungry, and they're stopping when they're full. So if you want to release weight, you got to heal your relationship with food. But also, what if you didn't just exercise to lose weight, but you exercise for your mental health? You did it to feel stronger. You did it to have more energy. You did it to improve your mental health. Like there's so many other benefits to exercise. I don't exercise to lose weight. I exercise to feel really good, to take really good care of myself, and I'm in the happiest, fittest body that I've ever been in. Bronson, message me on my Instagram. You should definitely be inside of the Root and Rewire membership. If you are feeling out of control with food, all of you guys need to join the membership. Just message me membership. Just literally DM me membership and I'll send you all the details. All of you guys need to be inside. This is the best place to heal your relationship with food. I remember you said, the more you give in, the more urges you'll have. So I noticed by not binging, they've lessened. So I'm reminding myself that food is fuel and always there, switching my mindset to food as fuel and fun, not a source of coping or happiness for me. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And again, you want to continue not giving into those urges because that's going to make a huge difference in rewiring your brain. And eventually you'll stop feeling the urge to binge altogether. Okay, any other questions? Natasha, Alexis, there's another Alexis on here. Hey, Nicola, we're doing a little Q&A at the end of this. If you have any questions, by the way, I am doing a completely free 5-day masterclass happening next week on how to step into your inner badass to conquer binge eating. It's 5 days. It's a free 5-day masterclass. The link is in my bio if you want to join. There's like 80 of you guys who are already joined. It's happening next week, and I'm going to share with you the exact steps that you need to really step into your inner badass. Who do you need to become in order to stop binge eating? Because again, you can learn all the tools, but the reality is you've got to work on the mindset piece. You've got to step into your inner badass. You've got to believe that you can conquer binge eating. You've got to believe that it's possible for you. So, hey, Caitlin, if you haven't registered for that masterclass, it's happening next week. It's completely free. You can register through the link in my bio. And it's going to be an amazing 5 days together. So go register right now. I think there's like, last time I checked, there was like over 80 of you guys that just registered. 81 of you guys. 81 of you guys are inside, and we're starting on Monday. So if you've not yet joined, get your booty registered, and I will see you there next week. 100% I haven't in over a year. They lessened drastically, so thank you again. You're so welcome. So happy to hear. All right, you guys, I am going to pop off. Have an amazing rest of your day, you guys. I'll see you soon. Go register for the free 5-day masterclass in the link in my bio. It's going to be life-changing for you. If you want to stop your binge eating, you got to be there. I literally went from binging every single day in 2018 to not having a single urge to binge in 4 years. I know what it takes to stop binge eating, and I'm going to share that with you. So can't wait to see you guys there. Go register through the link in my bio. Starting Monday through Friday of next week, it's going to be so excited. Okay, have an amazing rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.